Hi, welcome to today's maths lesson. We'll be looking at multiplying by multiples of 10. That is 10, 100, and 1,000. The focus for today's lesson is to learn how to multiply by 10, 100, and 1,000. Just a few vocabulary I want you to take note of. First is the word multiply. Now, multiply is just adding equal groups. And when you see 10 squared, it's written like this. And it just means 10 times 10. Also, 10 cubed is written like this. That's 10 to the power 3. And what that means is 10 times 10 times 10. There are 3 success criteria I want you to use to multiply numbers by 10, 100, and 1,000. And there are these: that you can draw or visualize a place value chart, that you can also correctly write the numbers to be multiplied in the place value chart, and third, that you can even multiply shifting the digits to the left and placing zeros in empty spaces created. Now, how do we go about multiplying this number, 67 times 100? Now, my first step is for you to draw or visualize the place value chart as it is here. And you can see there are the units, the tens, the hundreds, and the thousands. And just after the decimal point, we have tenths, hundredths, and thousands. So we now write the number to be multiplied in the place value chart. That's 67. You can see it's a whole number here. And I'm multiplying by 100. Now, which of these are we going to use? I know when I'm multiplying by 10, the digits shift one place to the left. When I'm multiplying by hundreds, the digits shift 2 places to the left. And when I'm multiplying by 1,000, the digits shift 3 places to the left. So I can see I'm going to use this. So these digits would shift 2 places to the left. So my 6 is going to shift 1, 2. So it's now in this column. And my 7 is going to shift 2 places. 1, 2 is now in this column. By shifting them, I created 2 spaces. So I'm going to fill those 2 spaces with a 0. Now the 0 is just called a placeholder. There is no value in it, but it's called a placeholder. It helps you to say this number, 6,700. Okay, we have this number to multiply. It's 23.57 times 10 cubed. Now, previously we know that 10 cubed is just 10 times 10 times 10, which is 1,000. So if I follow my steps again, I'll draw my place value chart. And in it I have my units, my tens, my hundreds, my thousands, tens of thousands, and hundreds of thousands. And just to the right of the decimal, I have my tenths, my hundredths, and my thousands. So I'm going to first write the number in the place value chart, the number in the question, which is 23.57. Now, I know I have to use one of these. When I'm multiplying by 1,000, the digits shift to the left 3 places. So let's apply that. This 2 will shift 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be in this column, which is here. Now this shifts 1, 2, 3. So it's also going to be in this column. And the 5 will shift 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be in this column. And the 7 will shift 1, 2, 3. Is going to be in this column. Now you can see the decimal point is here and there is a space created here. So I'm going to fill it with a 0. It's a placeholder. Now when you multiply 23.57 times 1,000, you end up with 23,570. Now what I want you to do is to pause the video and multiply 1.4 times 10 squared. We'll look at the answer in the next slide. How did you do? Now we were given the number, the decimal 1.4 times 10 squared. Now 10 squared means 10 times 10, which is 100. So my first step is to draw or visualize, if you can, the place value chart, which is here. Now I write my decimal inside is 1.4, and I know I'm going to times by 100. Now which of these am I going to use? I know I'm timesing by 100, so all the digits will shift 2 places to the left. So this 1 will shift 1, 2. So my 1 will be here. And the 4 will shift 1, 2. So the 4 will be here. And you see there's a space created here, and I'm going to put a 0. So it's 140. Now what I now want you to do is to pause the video and go and do the work. The mild is here, the medium, and then the hot. Please, as usual, the answers are there. Don't be tempted to look at the answers before the questions. Do the questions first, and then you can check. For now, I want you to call a guardian, or if they are busy, you call a sibling, and show them the steps you use to do one of the questions that you got correctly. Now, just as a reflection, were you able to draw or visualize place value charts? Were you also able to correctly write the numbers to be multiplied in the place value chart? Were you even able to multiply, shifting the digits to the left and placing zeros in empty spaces created? If you were able to do all of those, well done. You can now multiply numbers by 10, hundreds, and 1,000.